An Army sergeant is found dead.
My friend just committed suicide.
But this soldier's family is crying foul. They believe the caller knows way more than he's saying.
He was the last person to see him, and he was the person who found him.
What happened to Sergeant Robbie West?
There were some things that could give you the impression that this was a staged scene.
For those closest to the fallen soldier, it's anything but case closed.
You know, someone may have literally gotten away with murder.
Growing up, Robbie West wasn't lacking in heart or height.
Deanne, tell me about Robbie.
He was amazing, kind, generous. I used to call him my gentle giant. He was almost 6'6", and he had a heart of gold.
A sweet teen, but a directionless one. That is until an exciting career opportunity presents itself.
His oldest brother was in the military, and I said, hey, you know, this is an amazing place to be. I want you to think about joining, and he did, and that was all she wrote. He found his way.
So this was his calling.
Yes, absolutely perfect wording.
Robbie enlists in the Army, and it's there, in addition to finding his purpose and passion, he finds love with another soldier.
How did you and Robbie meet?
I remember walking into the classroom, and there was Robbie in the last row, and I saw him. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go sit over there. I ended up like touching his hand. He was just joking, and we would banter back and forth.
Sounds like you were hitting on him from day one.
Yes, it was a little flirtatious.
Robbie and Teresa are soon more than just fellow GIs. They become husband and wife, and in addition to Teresa's 3 children from a previous relationship, they become parents to a son of their own.
How was Robbie as a father?
He was a great dad, very dedicated. My kids were very lucky. They didn't know what a dad was until he came into their life.
But that wonderful life will be challenged. Robbie, who is stationed at Fort Benning in Georgia, gets deployed to Iraq, and when his tour ends a year later, he returns to the family of 6 struggling, financially struggling.
We brought in $500 for 2 weeks pay. I was like, there's no family that can live off of that.
So Teresa moves to Michigan, where her family can watch the kids while she attends nursing school.
We separated because that's what our family needed to do to stay together.
A family divided, then a gift that could help bring them back together. Robbie gets his 4th year enlistment bonus, $7,000, a huge relief to the overstrapped family.
He paid even his rent up and ahead. He had still money left over to get what he called a toy.
That toy is a gun, but Robbie doesn't have the proper military paperwork he needs to purchase it, so his friend, neighbor, and fellow soldier Kenneth Zubik offers to buy it for him.
His sergeant friend said, well, I'll buy it and give it, you know, you can pay me for it Monday.
So Robbie and Zubik, who live in Phoenix City, Alabama, go across state lines to Georgia to purchase the Glock 40 caliber pistol, then back for a night out on the town to celebrate Robbie's bonus.
Do you remember the last time you spoke to him?
I spoke to him at approximately 4:30 in the afternoon on that Saturday, and actually got a text message from him that he said, things are great, exclamation, exclamation, and getting ready to go out. He was happy.
So nothing seemed amiss?
No. He was so happy.
The men take a cab to a few bars, then close out the epic night of drinking at a strip club. Around 2:30 a.m., back at home, they go to their respective apartments. This will be the last time anyone sees or hears from Robbie West.
When did you realize something was wrong?
I texted him in the morning pretty early. I tried calling him, nothing. So I called Deanne, asked if she's heard from him. And she said no.
So of course I tried him 2 or 3 times and he didn't respond, and then I texted him 2 or 3 times, still didn't respond.
Teresa calls the Army asking them to do a welfare check. Then she calls the Phoenix City Police, and while she's waiting to hear back,
I keep calling his phone and calling it. And then I started getting mad at him.
Then around 2:30 p.m., someone else calls 911.
Can you sit in 911?
My friend just committed suicide.
You know for sure that he or she committed suicide.
Yes, ma'am. I have a key to his apartment. He has a key to my apartment. I just went over to check on him, and he's sitting in his chair, and he's cold, and I checked his pulse in, and there is no heartbeat.
What's your name?
My name is Ken Zubik. Zubich.
When cops arrive, they find 25-year-old Robbie West dead from a single gunshot wound to the head. Detectives find a gun in his right hand and some bullets in his lap. The magazine is on the table next to him, and there's a defect in the ceiling above Robbie's chair. Later at the medical examiner's office, Robbie's hands will test positive for gunshot residue, and his blood alcohol 3 times the legal limit. It is ruled a suicide. Almost 15 hours after Teresa first tried calling her husband,
It was a little after midnight, and I hear 2 car doors shut. Here comes 2 soldiers, and me and my aunt, we walk out to the front porch, and I still to this day hate the sound of people stepping on gravel. It's one sound that you could just hear. My heart was racing so hard. I felt like I couldn't breathe, and I remember them saying, "Miss West, we are sorry to notify you, but your husband died of a single gunshot wound to the head." So my whole body just went weak. And I was like, "How? Who killed him? Who killed him?"
coming up.
There's no way he would have shot himself.
The sergeant in the hot seat.
It looks highly suspicious to me. So this little conversation that you had over the text here, how did it start?
I was very intoxicated last night, ma'am. I
Okay.
don't remember exactly what I said last night.